viewer discretion is advised. Don't take everything I say seriously. This is just a personal thing that I feel. I have no real opinions or facts about music because as much as I may like music, I'm not a fucking nerd about it. The music I make myself is subpar, so remember, viewer discretion is advised. Don't take this view... Honestly, take this video with a big fucking grain of salt. I'm just talking what I personally think. So, with music, there's always two categories per se. This is also mainly a category for rap. While yes, this can be in other genres like country, heavy metal, and whatnot, a big thing it's known for is rap. Underground versus mainstream. Now, if you don't know what it is, you're a fucking idiot. But let me explain to you people with less brain cells than fingers I can use. If you ask, let's say 10 random people if they know who Ace Brokey is, you're lucky if one person's gonna know. But if you ask them about Kendrick Lamar or hell Drake, there's a good chance 7 people are gonna know. Minimum 7. Hell, everyone in the fucking room might know and be like, oh, me, I know. Yes, he's my favorite. I like when he said trying to strike a chord is probably A minor. But that's how it is. Underground, barely anyone knows them. Mainstream, everyone knows them. Now, of course, if you're in the underground scene, a lot of people will probably know who that person is. But obviously, if you're asking complete random strangers, no. That's why it's underground. Now, well, what if I were to tell you, I personally think there's actually a third one. It's in between underground and mainstream, where you're so popular, you're kind of out of underground in a sense. You're pushed past underground, but you don't hit mainstream yet. There's a couple reasons why, of course. One, maybe you just kind of ran out of fuel while blowing up, didn't necessarily make it all the way. And also stuff like your sound is just different, that's not in mainstream stuff. Because, you know, mainstream people aren't going to listen to stuff like extreme heavy 808s with you screaming on the mic and no melody beats type shit. But I'm going to actually describe who I believe these artists are. Like, at least a few of them. To kind of give an example of what I believe of these artists. Another thing I want to do clarify as well, a lot of people will just say that these artists are just the most popular of underground, but I feel like they just kind of get too past from underground, where it's kind of like mainstream, where if you know underground music, it's impossible to not know about these artists. Everyone knows them, and it's basically impossible to get a feature with them because they're too popular. The biggest one I can say, which people once again might say is just the king of underground or whatever, Lil Darky. Lil Darky blew up a lot of stuff with TikTok. A lot of it wasn't just also one song, which tends to happen in a lot of these kind of artists. It's actually multiple songs. Aha, Genocide, Monday, Gun Day, Holocaust, and a couple more songs as well. But most of these blew up from TikTok. Now, another thing that helped him blow up on TikTok, or just the internet in general, was that he is, now remember, I don't agree with this, racist. No, people thought he was racist because the character he uses is black. Well, not like black, like, you know, like how black people are, but like physically black, like he was trying to blackface. People thought it was actually blackface in itself. Plus him saying the N-word in songs. Now that is its entire other conversation of if slurs are okay, whatever. That, whatever. The main problem was his whole blackface thing. Now, I don't remember the exact video he said, and I personally don't feel like doing extra research on this because I actually want to, you know, make a fucking video. I remember a video a while ago of him talking about how, in the end, his character was inspired by an Indian god or goddess or something like that. In general, it was inspired by Indian religion. I want to say it was Indian. And that's where he made his character from. Now, again, of course, people weren't looking at it, you can see it, but people were jumping the gun, but that's not what the video is about right now. About his music, though, he has plenty of tracks hit over 25 million views at least. But he's definitely sort of slowly falling off. I'm not saying falling off in a sense of being bad, I'm saying falling off in a sense of just not as looked at per se. Plenty of his songs still hit at least like 1 million views minimum, but it's starting to decline. Another artist that's probably the smallest of the ones I'm talking about, I say smallest, is Savage Gasp. Savage Gasp, he blew up mostly with another artist's help. He didn't even really, while he was on the song credited as a main artist, I personally feel like he's a feature artist. And that was E-Girls Is Ruining My Life. Hell, listening to the songs, whose verse do you remember? Corpse or Savage Gasps? Yeah, exactly. And don't wrong, there's definitely been a few other songs that done pretty well, kind of blew up a little bit on TikTok. Pumpkin Screaming in the Dead of Night, but other than that, didn't blow up too crazy compared to the others. Only one that was crazy was E-Girls Who Ruined My Life, and that's because every fucking guy listened to the song thinking they were cool, and every E-girl listened to that song and their fucking pussy wet. The last artist I'd say that kind of is starting to get towards this point is Killswitch. He released 3 albums, and they were pretty good. First album did pretty well, one song did really well above the rest. It was kind of a small album though. The second album is the album where his big TikTok song came from, Waste. And holy fucking shit, I'm gonna be honest, this song's not that good. I get why it blew up. It was this like very soft, melodic singing thing that a lot of people use in TikTok, sped up the audio and put some sad post or whatever. But it's just, it's not that fucking good. There's so many other good songs they could have picked from, like damn. And his third album he did release, still did good. I like a lot of songs from there, but the numbers aren't there. And you can kind of tell he's starting to slowly get to this point. Which once again, I'm not saying he's bad, I'm just saying his numbers is just, he's not being looked at as much per se. That's kind of just the internet in general, which is another video for the day. He's in the process of making his 4th album, and I do feel like this album is really not going to do as well compared to the others. And I'm not saying skill-wise, I'm saying view-wise. I feel like people really aren't going to care about this album by the time it releases, but that's all I'm saying. Of the few singles he has released, a lot of them really haven't even done that good. Maybe a couple 100K. Only one song did really decent. That was Brand of Sacrifice with Savage Gasp. Wait, did I just talk about that fucker? Yeah, there's actually a little theme per se with these artists, is that they tend to work with each other a lot. Now, as I said, Killswitch and Savage Gasp, they have Brand of Sacrifice. But then Savage Gasp and Darky, they have The Ghost and the Spider. And Darky and Killswitch, they have Public Enemy. And I get you can say, well, these artists are kind of the same, which is true. Darky and Killswitch are these guys who blew up from scream rapping and also have their melodic bits. Savage Gasp, while they do constant screaming, still has that edgy vibe that it kind of still fits in the niche. So let me pick 3 artists that have kind of complete different subgenres of rap per se. Biggest one I can say, let's go with Josiah. Josiah is the person who blew up from, being a scream rapper. Very loud when he raps. Very rah and fucking whatever, right? And we got Lil Bubblegum. He blew up from doing aesthetic rap stuff, which is very more mellow, low. You don't get loud with it. And they did a song together called Slurpee, right? Yeah, I heard their name. So Josiah and Lil Bubblegum did a song together called Slurpee. Now Lil Bubblegum did a song with Sampra. I think that's how you say his name. It's spelled like this. I just say Sampra because I don't fully know and I don't want to be wrong. So I'm wrong, maybe. Lil Bubblegum and Sampra did a song together called Snakes. And now Sampra and Josiah, they didn't do just a song together. They did an entire little EP together called Untamed. Now, I will say that I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing of these artists working together. These artists kind of have the same size and monthly listeners as the other, or just in general fame, so it makes sense for them to kind of work together. Plus, it helps build us more of a community or friendship for these middle ground artists. So once another underground artist inevitably blows up a bit and kind of lands himself in this middle ground area, they aren't alone with no one to talk to. They still have this little community here willing to talk with them. Now, I know you're probably sitting at home, the 2 viewers who are actually watching this video, saying, oh, well, what about this artist? Aren't they a middle ground artist? You're not actually thinking about that. You're saying my video's trash, but point fucking being. I'm gonna talk about artists that people probably think are in here, but really aren't. The first one I think is a pretty close one, but really isn't, is Baby No Money. Now, a lot of people think after Edamame and La La La, he's fallen off and gone off and no one cares about him anymore, right? Well, not really. His last 2 songs, Freaky and It Boy, have blown quite big on TikTok. Sure, Freaky was mostly because, ooh, Moist Critical's in there. But It Boy has been doing quite well. I've been seeing a lot of people post it with the fucking ITBOY BBNO $sign. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. And I've been seeing it like a lot. And also, once again, these songs aren't necessarily bad. It's just, once again, he's promoting. Granted, I feel like Baby No Money's good at promoting, but point being, his last 2 songs have been quite everywhere recently, so it's not necessarily in the middle ground area. Ski Mask. Now, everyone's gonna be really screaming at me. This is why I'm also pointing this out. People think he's here because he hasn't dropped, like, in a hot minute for a while. Obviously, I know he dropped recently, but let me talk first. He hasn't dropped for quite a while, and everyone thought he's kind of fallen off. And while, yes, he has dropped recently, and it wasn't as good as his other stuff, especially number-wise, I'm not gonna say that he's gone in this middle ground area. The numbers are still quite good, especially when he does feature on songs. He sort of, in a sense, helps carry them. Not to say he is a carry and everyone he works with is bad, but he dropped recently at the start of June and it's been pretty decent. One of his songs I'm pretty sure did hit in his top 10 monthly listens. And the third one is Suicide Boys. Now, a lot of people tend to say Suicide Boys just kind of blends together. Oh, that every one of their fucking songs sounds the same. Oh, they just make edgy boy music. Well, yes, the edgy boy music part might be true. You gotta realize a lot of their songs are still played on TikTok, like a fucking lot. Especially they released a new album recently, which at the start of June as well, did pretty fucking good. I think it did honestly better than fucking Ski Masks. Now, a conclusion, transition, because I don't know how to transition to conclusion. What do I really think about these artists? Well, I actually like all these middle ground artists. Lil Darky and especially Killswitch, I've been fucking adoring Killswitch. I like these guys. And the others I did mention, I do still listen to them. Now, of course, I don't go out of my way to listen to artists really, but I will definitely play stuff like daily mixes, hip-hop mix on Spotify or whatnot. And they'll usually pop up on there. I've been hearing Josiah's Lockdown a lot recently. While listening to these artists, I definitely don't listen to their newest stuff that they always drop. I still listen to a lot of their songs because I still do like them. I think they're good artists. Now, I guess now you're probably asking, well, when does underground get to this middle ground you came up with for yourself? I don't have an exact number per se because I haven't done too much research into it, even though it's a video I'm literally making. But I feel like a decent highest amount probably it hits is maybe around 300 to maybe 500k. Just because I feel like once you hit that point in numbers, you kind of gone pretty fucking far. If you're, let's say you're like Isbroki, she's at currently 70k monthly listeners when I last checked. She's doing pretty well. Getting a feature with her probably wouldn't necessarily be tough if you're also a decently big artist in the underground. But if trying to get with someone who might be at like 300k, holy fuck, everyone's probably clamoring to work with them, and trying to get a feature is probably gonna cost you a little fucking kidney. Why a little fucking kidney? Just costs a lot of money to work with them, and everyone's be wanting to work with them, so that's why their price is expensive. And I feel like at this point they're kind of in this weird situation of I can't work with anyone in the underground because they're all clamoring to work with me. Who do I work with now? And then you got this middle ground artist to work with. Once again, like I did say in the beginning of this video, this is all what I personally think. If you don't believe that there's an actual middle ground area and just think the artists I described were just very, very popular underground artists, that's fine by you. But this is kind of a little thing that I think I've really noticed it, and it's just been kind of a trend. And of course, with the internet being the internet, this is definitely possible for this genre to exist now because everyone remembers and forgets an artist in like less than a year. Not remembers, they discover an artist. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do want to try to get back to doing more of these honest discussion videos. Just not too much, but I do like making these videos. Please like it if you like to. And if you have any other ideas of stuff I should probably talk about, leave in the comments below. And hell, if you want to even have a discussion of just how I'm a fucking idiot in this video, comment down below. Don't be a dickhead about it. Just say, hey, I don't necessarily agree with you, and I will talk about it. Just, once again, don't be a dickhead. Next video, I honestly don't even know what it's gonna be, so just fucking enjoy, and here's an outro of my new EP I just released recently. Peace out, fuckers.
Sit up and take my morning, man. My partner snore and I'm lazy, so I lay back in bed. But I don't sleep, I just lay back and check the snap.